Sexuality, Volume 1. This is in an introduction, a conclusion, and 3 basic questions. For those of you who don't know Foucault at all, he was the greatest of the French postmodern generation of thinkers, still the widest cited author in the Humanities Index, and he's also famous for his nuancing and his ambivalence, alright? The point about this piece is don't judge it till I get to the end. He means you not to. The history of sexuality. Introduction. Is it not the funniest of jokes that we prattle endlessly about our sexual repression? Have we found a new way to flirt? Problem 1. But I'll tell you what is far darker yet. We seem to have confused our identity with our sexuality. Tell me who you have the hots for, and I will tell you who and what you are. More than that, we have taken the great welter of our desires, our lusts, our anxieties, our fears, our hopes, our dreams, our ability to catch each other's eye, and we forced them into 2 genders rooted in biology, or if you're lucky, a chocolate box selection of allowed possible sexualities. We consult our gender, our desire, as if it was an oracle. We throw out the bones and read the runes of our lust, fearing what we might find. Consult doctors, magical or medical, to tell us who we are. We have taken, then, the wild tempest of our souls, sexualized it, and medicalized the result. Problem 2. And how do we understand this? How do we understand the power that is involved here? Not the noisy power of the state that tells you to do this or else, but rather that very quiet power that got you all out on an October evening when it was so cold. The power that waxes and wanes with any individual. So some days we can do so much, and other days nothing at all. A power that is caught up with how we understand it. So that how we act and what we know hook up in a strange union and go off on an odd tangent of their own. And how can I ever understand how you are different from me? How your desires are something apart? How can I think that difference and let it stand? Problem 3. Under the single banner of sexuality, in the last 250 years or more, 4 great separate movements have been caught. The first and most profound is the hystericalization of the female form. Women were checkmated back into their bodies soaked with the sacked with an obnoxious, corrosive, all-pervading sexuality. That sexuality knocked them into myths of sisterhood, or seductress, or motherhood and apple pie. And anyone who didn't agree, they're weird, but don't worry, we can treat them. 2. There's been a gathering fear, and mounting at last a paranoia about what children are doing late at night under the bedclothes, or with each other up in the old attic. A fear then of childhood sexuality, and even more, of adults' reaction to it. A fear that opens out on endless worlds of suppression, repression, regulation, and occasional all too tawdry exhibition. There's been a gathering medicalization of the normal. The perfectly natural processes of conception, pregnancy, birth and aftercare have become yet another reason for a trip down the clinic. Long, cold metal instruments, intrusive hands and leading questions. Finally, in the last 250 years or more, there has been a proliferation of perversions. Tell me what you desire, animal, vegetable or mineral, and I'll have a Latin name for it. And if I don't have one, I'll make it up. But why? What is at stake in all this manufacture of sexuality? Why waste this energy? Well, maybe for the very first time in all of human history, mankind is learning something. He is learning what it truly means to be a living member of a living species. He is freeing himself from that politics of death. The politics that has held him so long, that was so great at arranging spectacular, occasional, gruesome executions. He is enmeshing himself in a politics of life. A politics that binds him fast from the cradle to the grave.